Happy holidays! It is day 10. Today I have a somewhat traditional page, not as involved as some of my other pages, but I still love the way it comes out. And today's guest is Kat Martin. She has such a gorgeous, gorgeous style. She is so inspirational. I love looking at her pages, and her take on the number 10 today is what kind of gave me the idea of my page. She made a list of 10 things about Christmas, and I thought that I was going to do a page about lists as well. So I have some photos of my kids with their Christmas lists. I am going back to this basic gray collection, which I have used several times in my videos. This one is called Eskimo Kisses, I think that's it. And what I love about this collection are the pinks and the light blue in it, and this dark purple as well. Very kind of different for Christmas, with the purple in it. So it's really pretty. So I'm going to kind of use this design here, and the white block on the left is going to be where my journaling is. And my intention is to make that the big list. I kind of went back and forth with a couple design ideas for this page. I was going to maybe have like a separate list for each kid, or do like a separate journaling block for each kid, but in the end I just decided to do one big journaling block and then have the photos right next to it. I definitely wanted to use a colored background today, and bring in a lot of color to this page, because a few of my pages lately have just been white background, and that's my go-to, is the white background. So I really wanted to force myself to use colorful background papers. And it's interesting, because a lot of the papers I'm using today are just solid colors, but they're pretty together. So I have cut out of some red pattern paper, it's a poinsettia layered flower, and it's from the Just Nick store. And it also has, I didn't cut these out, but it comes with like little berries that you can put on it too, but I didn't cut those out. It's a really cute file, and I love that it's different sizes and you can layer it and get really pretty flowers. I'm only going to layer 2 flowers at a time here, but you could very easily layer 4 and get a very full flower. I'm breaking out some punches here. This is an American Crafts punch, and it's like a set of punches, and you just kind of switch out the punch and the guides in the base there, and then you can switch up and get different shapes. And I'm using a notebook punch, obviously, for this is our list. And I'm going to, I definitely wanted to bring in some red against that purple. So I searched and searched through my stash, because I thought I was going to put a Santa, because it is a page about a letter to Santa, down on the bottom left. And I've gone through a whole bunch of little die cuts. I'm not going to show you all that, because I spent a long time going through all of my little packs, just trying to find the perfect little embellishments to add. And I really thought that Santa was going to be it, but I ended up using something different. And I searched forever for that Santa. But anyway, now I know where it is, and when I need a Santa for another page, I will, I'll have that one to go to. So I found this word wish, and I thought that I was going to use that because my page title was going to be wish list. But I will come back and switch that out as well. So I'm just, going through and picking out things. I wanted to bring in, so in the paper, like I said earlier, there's a little bit of blue and a little bit of pink. So I was trying to find some blue items to pull out to kind of accent the blue in the striped piece of paper there. So I remembered I've just purchased all this flair from a little shop called Cuts to Love, which is based out of Canada. And actually it's not that far from me. It's only a couple hours from me in New York, but so the shipping's not too bad from Canada. But I had just placed a huge order on Black Friday, and I found I had a couple Christmas pieces of flair in there. And I knew that there was one that was a Santa head, so you can see it up there on the left, and I actually end up using that. But I kind of pull those out just to have to the side for when I want to use them. And I'm not sure where I'm going to use them yet, but I know I want to. I wanted to bring in a little bit more green as well to add in some contrast against the purple and the red. So I am cutting out just freehanding some leaf shapes. I don't know, it's not really the correct shape of a leaf of a poinsettia plant, I think, but it'll do. And I cut out some of the holly that you see on that piece of pattern paper too. By the way, that piece of paper on the left there is from Fancy Pants Oh Dear collection, which was probably about 2 or 3 years ago. That is one of my all-time favorite Christmas collections. This tag that says Be Merry is also from that collection. So just really, really bright, fun prints in that line. I always love Fancy Pants Christmas lines. They're always really pretty. All right, so I found this word wish, which in my I have this little bin of like things I tried to use, but they didn't end up on a page, but I didn't want to put them back. It's kind of like a lazy bin, I guess, because I don't want to put the things back. And I remembered I had the word wish in there from a birthday page that I was doing, oh God, months ago. And I love that kind of scripty font and that it's, big foam letters. I think it's from like an Amy Tan or maybe a Dear Lizzie word pack from I don't know which collection a while ago. But anyway, I love how that looks. So I'm going to definitely use that word wish instead of the other little die cut one I had. So I wanted to bring in a little bit more blue around my photos to kind of help them stand out a little bit more. So I just kind of freehanded some photo corners and tucked them underneath the corner of each photo. And you can see on the left too, I've put that little Santa head on the flower there, the piece of flair. So I'm definitely going to use that over there. I'm not going to use it as the center of the flower, but I do want to add that to the cluster. I'm trying to create as well a visual triangle of sorts with the flowers on the left, the red flowers on the left, and then putting one flower on the right by the kids' photos, and then having a little bit of red and a teeny tiny red flower on the top, kind of above the word wish. When I create a visual triangle, not only am I creating a triangle of 3 elements, but I also, most of the time, use the 3 things in different scales. So I'll have one big thing, one medium-sized thing, and then one small thing. And then maybe they're the same color or a certain shape to help bring some type of cohesiveness into it. So in this case, I have 3 red flowers that are obviously the same color, but 3 different scales, a large, a medium, and a small. And then I usually, like wherever the large element is, I make that like my big cluster. So I have, the one large red flower, and then I cluster a whole bunch of other stuff with it to really make that one cluster stand out. So I was looking for some letters to put for the word list. The white wasn't going to work. It was too white on white, so it didn't show up very well. So I'm just gonna forget about that for now, and then just start assembling some things here. When I kind of get stuck, which I am at this point, because I wanted to add a little bit more because I just felt this page was so plain. I just that's when I start like gluing things and putting things together and working with what I have, and then I'll go back and stop and add in things as I go along. But I get to think while I'm gluing things like what do I want to add next. So I'm taking everything off, and I wanted to jazz up the background a little bit, and I break out this white Mr. Huey's, and look at it. This happens to me all the time with this white Mr. Huey's. It just totally disappears. It's like magic mist. You put it on and it's gone. So I pull out this one. It's called Marshmallow. It's a glimmer mist. I wanted it a little bit more white, but it ends up with kind of like this silvery sheen to it. It is really pretty. I wish it were more white. I don't really have a good white mist. I haven't tried the Heidi Swapp white, so I'm not sure if that one's good or not. But that Mr. Huey's, that white one, is kind of useless. It doesn't show up on dark paper. And what other color paper would you use it on except a dark color? Because it's not going to show up that well in a light color. But oh well, whatever. If anybody has any luck with that, I would love to hear if yours works, because mine doesn't. Okay, so for the center of my poinsettia flowers, I wanted to put some little red enamel dots. I looked all over for the dark red, and the only ones I could find were in this holly pack from the Chamel Christmas line that I've used. I've used these holly on a couple layouts this series, but I have pulled off a lot of the berries, so now I'm stuck with a lot of the leaves left, but I'll find a way to work them in somewhere. And then I've also used these stars on another page as well. These are the Studio Calico rub-on gold stars that are really so pretty. And I mentioned this when I used them last. I think they actually came from like a baby collection. I don't think they were part of a Christmas collection. So, but they show up so great on the dark background. They're just super pretty. I have to go through like 5 or 6 little stars here because I was cutting them so close to the edge of the paper that when I was taking off the transfer sheet to stick them on my page, the rub-on kept sticking to my finger and ripping. So finally I get one to work there at the end. So jumping over to my number 10 quick, I was going to like make this a list of 10 things, but I was looking at my kids' list and they didn't have 10 things between the two of them. So, I was going to put like, 10 items for Christmas or something like that. So the number 10 kind of, the idea behind it kind of got lost a little bit. So what I ended up doing is I just add in 10 of those gold stars. So that's where my 10 is. It's kind of a lame take on the number 10, I guess. When you see Kat's page today, her 10 list is so super cute. So go check out her video and see how she used the 10. I was thinking about doing like a top 10 list, and that was my original plan, but it didn't work out that way. But that's okay. I wasn't going to force myself to compromise my page design just to fit in the number 10. So okay, gonna glue these things down because I'm pretty happy with where they are. Underneath the word wish, I added a green label sticker from Bella Boulevard, and that green matches the Fancy Pants green perfectly. And a little red tag up there, just like a little tab sticking out to bring a little bit more red up there. And I do add that little tiny flower is somewhere. I put a little flower right up there above the wish too. Oh yeah, I forgot, I used it as the eye. I thought that was cute. Okay, so now you can really see the visual triangle there. So here is where I bring in a little bit of blue on the left-hand side because I had the blue photo corners on the right-hand side. So I'm going to use these blue letters that come in that basic gray line, the Eskimo Kisses line. And I don't love this font, this font that those blue and red letters are, but I liked the color, so I just went with the color. I was trying to find something that maybe I should put the letters on to kind of make them stand out more, but then I just layered them right over the word wish, and they kind of lined up nicely so that you could see the I and the S and the T, so that came out cute. I like that. And then lastly here, I'm just going to go through, this piece of white paper, by the way, is textured cardstock, so I'm using a thin line Sharpie to draw my lines because my pens, when they run over the texture, they tend to skip and jump a little bit because the cardstock is so textured. So I found a Sharpie worked the best. And I'm just kind of eyeballing the distance between the lines. I didn't want it to be perfect. So again, kind of a simple design for me, very traditional layout, I think. I do use some cut files and some layering and clustering and a little bit of splatters on my background, but overall pretty simple page. So here's the finished product. I do love the colors. The colors are just so bright, perfect for Christmas. And a couple close-ups. And that about wraps it up for day 10. So hope you enjoyed this page. Again, go check out Kat's page and check out the other 9 days of videos, and we only have 2 more left. So we'll see you tomorrow for day 11. Happy holidays.